Usted no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto en lo absoluto con Casia Ceballos.
You also cannot return to 11347 Tara Boulevard, Hampton, Georgia.
Tampoco puede regresar a la 11347 Tara Boulevard en Hampton, Georgia.
I believe you do have belongings at that house.
Yo creo que usted tiene artículos personales en esa casa.
I didn't hear him.
No le escuché. No le escuché.
Mi carro, mi vehículo.
My car, my vehicle.
Okay. I will allow you to go back there with a sheriff only to go and pick up your belongings.
Yo le voy a permitir regresar solamente acompañado de un alguacil para que retire sus artículos personales.
He will need to schedule an appointment with the sheriff's office once he is released from within 10 days of him being released from jail to go and pick those items.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Usted tendría,
may I interrupt you right quick? I got one inmate I need to bring before you. He's being a non-compliant.
Okay.
Tell me what shit broke it.
usted tendría que hacer una cita con la comisaría durante los primeros 10 días después de haber salido de la
This
cárcel.
shit broke inside their jail. They keep telling me what shit broke it. They don't. Sit down there where it's already broke it.
Kane, Your Honor.
What the hell?
Is this Mr. Kane? All right. Hold on one moment. Mr. Kane, can you hear me? All right. Mr. Kane, you've been charged with interference with government property. I've set that bond amount at $3,500. Criminal damage to property in the second degree, $3,500. Obstruction of an officer, $1,500. And terroristic threats, $2,500. Your total bond amount is going to be $11,000. You do have a preliminary hearing date, which is scheduled for January the 27th, 2025, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. It's also going to be via Zoom. I have reviewed your application for court-appointed counsel, and it is approved. And Mr. Kane, if you can't hear me, I understand that you're very, very upset right now, and I've already heard what you said. I hope you can hear me right now. I have approved you for a free lawyer. So all of the information that you're saying right now, I need you to go ahead and just let your attorney know that, so that way your attorney can address it with us at a later date. Can you hear me? Okay. All right.
He can hear you, Your Honor.
I think we were on Mr. Rodriguez. Whenever y'all are ready, I'm ready. Mr. Rodriguez, my apologies for the interruption. I believe what I indicated to you was that you need to contact the sheriff's office within 10 days of being released so you can go and retrieve your belongings.
Señor Rodríguez, Me disculpo por la interrupción. Yo creo que donde nos quedamos es que usted necesita hacer una cita con la comisaría durante los primeros 10 días después de haber salido en libertad para retirar sus artículos personales.
Do you have a job?
¿Tiene usted empleo?
Sí,
Yes.
How much do you earn each month?
¿Cuánto gana usted por mes?
3.500 mensual.
$3,500 per month.
You have a child?
Sí,
Yes.
How many?
4.
4.
Okay. And how much do you pay in rent or mortgage each month?
¿Y cuánto paga usted de alquiler o de hipoteca mensualmente?
1.200.
1,200?
Sí, 1.200 mensuales.
Yes, 1,200 per month.
Okay. I am gonna approve him for a free lawyer.
Yo le voy a aprobar y le voy a asignar un abogado de oficio.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm not sure if I said it, and I don't know if you heard me. You have a preliminary hearing on January 28th.
Señor Rodríguez, yo no sé si yo lo dije o si usted me escuchó, pero usted tiene una audiencia preliminar programada para el 28 de enero.
Okay.
If you are
Okay.
still in jail on January 28th, you will attend that hearing, okay?
Si usted todavía está en la cárcel el 28 de enero, usted asistiría a esa audiencia, ¿está bien?
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. He's good to
Okay.
go. Traded on Jots. Hey, Deputy, how you doing?
Happy New Year, Judge. Good morning.
Happy New Year,
Good
good
afternoon.
morning, or
Yeah.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Yeah. She's coming.
Okay,
Come on. Good afternoon, y'all. I'm this Hillman Toombs. I'll be representing Miss Key.
good afternoon, Attorney Toombs. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. We feel that's some mitigating circumstances the court might want to consider. Miss Keith was at her residence. Her daughter came in and wanted to use her washing machine, and she allowed her to use it, and then she started a confrontation with Miss Keith. And this is not the first time. Her daughter unemployed, a drug addict, and she started the confrontation. Miss Keith is the victim. She was in there preparing her New Year's dinner when she was attacked by her daughter. And her daughter called the police and alleged that Miss Keith attacked her, and she never did anything to her. Just told her to leave and leave her granddaughter's clothing there at the home. And the daughter wanted to take the clothing, but Miss Keith wanted to keep some clean clothes for the granddaughter, because the daughter comes over there with the granddaughter with dirty clothes, dirty underclothes all the time, to leave her with Mrs. Keith. And we're asking that the court consider this and maybe these mitigating circumstances and allow her a reasonable bond in this matter at this time.
Okay. Is the house, hold on one second. So then, is the house at 2096 Court Miss Keith's home?
Yes, Your Honor, that's her home, and her daughter does not live there. She lives elsewhere.
Okay. Give me just one moment.
Thank you.
They do want to play, yes, not for, yeah, not for the event, or not for the overtime. I'm trying to say, can you put it in or?
And counsel, you are aware that one of the charges is aggravated assault.
I am.
Okay. But after hearing the information that you provided, I am going to set her, rather than no bonding her, I'm gonna give her a bond in the amount of $20,000 for the aggravated assault charge. And then the cruelty to children charge in the 3rd degree is gonna be 1,000 rather than some other higher amount, given the circumstances that you have indicated to me. She will, however, have to stay away from Alexia Leach, which I believe is her daughter. I did not, now that I know that that is her home or her address, I have not excluded her from her own home. I am not sure what the circumstances are surrounding the granddaughter, but I'm sure, counsel, that you will be able to advise her, as it relates to her also having to care for or take care of her granddaughter, as well. So I am going to order that she stay away from Alexia Leach. Whatever impact that has on her ability to see her granddaughter, I'm not sure, but I'm sure you will advise her. Resultingly, her bond amount will be $21,000.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you. Best of luck to you, Ms. Keith.
What's I know? Yeah.
What is his name? Do I need to take him first?
Yes, Judge. This is the first one on Jack's last name, Bighart, Anthony Bighart.
Okay. Thank you.
You were.
All right, Mr. Bighart, you have been charged with fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. I've set that bond amount at $4,000. You have been charged with driving while license is revoked. That bond amount is $1,500. Operating a vehicle without insurance, that bond amount is $1,500 as well. You've also been charged with reckless driving. I've set that bond amount at $2,000. Improper passing on the right, that bond amount is $500. And then you have three disregarding traffic control device charges. Each one of them carries a bond of $500. Driving with an expired tag, $500, and obstruction of an officer is $1,500. Your total bond amount is going to be $13,000. I have reviewed your application for court-appointed counsel, and it is approved. I'm ready for him to sign, and he does not have a waiver.
Question, Your Honor.
And also, I'm sorry, Mr. Bighart, what I didn't say was that you have maybe I did say it. You have a preliminary hearing date on January 27th, 2025. What's your question for me?
Yes, Your Honor, that at the end of the chase, I hit a wall and I broke my back and I need surgery. So anyone can get a signature bond and go out and get surgery?
Oh, absolutely not.
Sorry. Roll backwards.
Oh, we didn't do it.
Medical?
Yeah.
We're gonna really rate medical, okay?
Actually, I don't know how Ms. Evans come up next. He also is in a wheelchair.
And has he signed?
He's on, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
This one right here is Mr. Evans, Your Honor.
Okay.
Right this way.
All right, Mr. Evans, you've been charged with loitering or prowling. I've set that bond amount at $1,000. Possession of drug-related objects, $1,000, and possession of cocaine, $3,000. Your total bond amount is $5,000. You are not to return to the Shell gas station at 4162 Old Dixie Highway in Forest Park. You have a preliminary hearing date, which is scheduled for January the 27th, 2025. If you are still in jail at that time, you will attend that hearing. If you're not in jail at that time, you will not attend that hearing. Do you have a job, Mr. Evans?
No.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, Mr. Evans, I am going to approve you for a free lawyer. I'm ready for him to sign, and he doesn't have a waiver. No, sir.
Son right here, sir.
Do I have a felony?
You do,
Which one?
the possession of cocaine.
I'm just cocaine. I ain't had no. No. Okay.
Walk backwards, I mean, roll backwards.
Okay.
Okay. Cross.
The next floor.
And tell me what, are you Mr. Kane? No, you're not Mr. Kane. Hold on.
Cross.
Okay.
You did? Yeah.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Cross. And Mr. Cross, my review of your criminal history indicates that you are still on probation. Is that correct? You were just that sentence was issued in May of this year. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Court's okay.
All right, you have been charged with battery family violence. You do not have a bond for that charge. Although it is a misdemeanor, because you're currently on probation for an offense related to the same type of incident. You do not have a bond for that very reason. You have a charge of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. I've set that bond amount at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing on January 28th, 2025. But you are also going to have a bond hearing on January 31st, 2025. And at that time, the court will be able to assess whether or not to issue you a bond based on the charges that you have. You are going to be required to stay away from Krishana Brown, Kason Brown, and Caitlin Cross. You cannot, you live at 312 Winthrop?
Yeah, that's my place. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you don't live with Miss Brown, is that correct?
No, ma'am. She was living with me.
I'm sorry?
I said, no, ma'am, she was living with me.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Judge, my probation officer told me to tell you something when I meet you today. Is it possible you can show me some type of mercy as far as the court date? I'm a caregiver of my mom as well that suffers from seizures that stays with me right now. And
Your probation officer is gonna have the opportunity to weigh in on all of this at your next court date. And so if you've been in contact with your probation officer, that probation officer should know that this isn't the time in which I can discuss that at this time. So, but there will be an opportunity for that to be considered, and that's going to be at your bond hearing, which is going to be on January the 31st. Give me one moment to just. Okay, yeah, Mr. Cross, you all live together in that house, is that right, at 312 Winthrop?
When I first got to court, she had got put out of her mother's house.
No. I think my question to you is, you
No.
all live together at Winthrop, is that right?
No, ma'am, that's my place. No, ma'am, we didn't live together.
So I see that it says that you all. So she doesn't live with you at the Winthrop location with your children?
No, ma'am. The only reason
Okay.
why she was there is because she got put out by her mom, and we was there celebrating Christmas. That's it. We don't stay together at all. I moved from the old place that I got charged with because I couldn't go back. So I got a new place, and that's my new place, the 312. And I might be in danger of losing that because I haven't paid the rent yet this month.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not gonna order you to not return to that location. Tell me what this 8104 Webb Road is.
So that's the old address that I think they instructed me not to go to anymore. So I didn't. I ended up getting me a new place.
So then why do you have it listed on your court appointed application?
That I don't know for sure. I changed it. I just actually got this new place within this month for my birthday on December 8th. I just got this new place, the 312. So I wasn't able to change it quite yet.
So are you wanting your application for court appointed counsel to list your new address?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Let me see. No.
Who wants to do what's going?
And I have to find out what I'm gonna do with my mom, because my mom is there right now, who I'm the caregiver of. And I think I'm gonna get put out because I haven't paid the rent yet. And I think I'm gonna lose my job with this too as well.
I hear you, Mr. Cross. I really do hear you. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about the circumstances for which you are in front of me for. And hopefully after today, you'll maybe make different decisions regarding her having her come to your house. Nevertheless, I am ready for you to go ahead and sign. I'm not gonna issue that you not be, I'm not gonna require that you not return to 312. You'll be able to return to that location. But you will have a bond hearing on January 31st and a preliminary hearing on the 28th.
So what do I do as far as the preliminary hearing? Is that, I'm a little confused on that. The preliminary hearing is for what?
It's gonna be whether or not the court is gonna determine whether or not there is sufficient probable cause to keep you in jail on that day. And so if the court finds that there is sufficient probable cause, you will remain in jail until 31st, at which point you will have a bond hearing. I will indicate that
I'm just trying to find out what to tell my job so I won't lose my job. Because I'm a general manager at Title Mat, so I'm just trying to find out what to tell them because I haven't talked to nobody yet since I've been here.
I don't know what to tell you to tell them, but I know the hearing date for which the court is gonna determine whether or not you are entitled to a bond is gonna be on the 31st.
Okay, so is it possible I can get out on the 28th and have to come back on the 31st, or how are they going?
You're not getting out on the 28th. Well, I don't know. You maybe your attorney will. I'm gonna give you a court-appointed counsel, and if your attorney is able to discuss that and considering all of the other information that you had about being a caretaker, maybe they'll be able to work around something and getting you a bond. Okay.
Okay.
What's going on?
Waiting on him.
So, man, what will be the bond for the other charge? I know you said one charge.
2,000. One of the bond amounts is 2,000.
And then I get the other bond possibly on the 31st or when my lawyer.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, are you Mr. Pickens?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Hey, y'all want to remedy?
Excuse me, can I ask a question before you start?
What's the question?
Just everything in general, because my house was shot up. Like, I guess all the charges I was charged with these charges and like.
That's not a attorney question. You can talk to your attorney about that.
All right, yeah.
All right. Mr. Pickens, you have been charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I'm not sure how any of that relates to whatever the story was that you're about to tell me. But that bond amount is $3,500. Possession of a firearm during or weapon during the commission of a crime is $5,000. use or possession of drug-related objects is $1,000. And then possession of marijuana, 1 ounce or less is $1,500. And so your total bond amount is gonna be $16,000. Obviously, if you use a bonding company, then it will be between 10 to 15%. So you're not gonna be paying the entire $16,000. You have a preliminary hearing date, which is scheduled for January the 27th, 2025. If you're still in jail, you will attend. If you're not in jail, you will not attend. I have reviewed your application for court-appointed counsel and it is approved, all right? Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right. All right. Hey, are you Mr. Wall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Wall, you have been charged with failure to have headlights on. That bond amount is 500. DUI for a person under the age of 21, that bond amount is $3,500. You have a violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of a Schedule I controlled substance drug, that bond amount is $4,000. And then you have an open container violation, and that bond amount is $500. Your total bond amount is gonna be $8,500. You do have a preliminary hearing date, which I've scheduled for January the 27th, 2025. If you're still in jail at that time, you will attend that hearing. If you're not in jail at that time, you will not attend that hearing. I have reviewed your application for court-appointed counsel and it is approved. You're good to go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well done, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Happy New Year's.
You too. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody say something?
Happy New Year's.
Oh, Happy New Year, guys.
Same to you.
All right.